We need to cure the disease, not just put a Band-Aid on it. Absolving student debt or making college free altogether does not address the problem. It just passes the debt on to people who have responsibly paid off their student loans.
It is commonly advised that pursuing a higher education should be an individual's main goal. We've all heard it from a variety of people, ranging from teachers and counselors to former college graduates and current college students.
You know, the debt is definitely a significant issue, and it lingers on with the student long after they graduate and they move out into life and into whatever profession they get.
As the cost of college tuition nationwide increases at a concerning rate in both state and private institutions, the urgency of the issues regarding the preposterous incline in costs continues to grow at an alarming rate.
From 1988 to 2018, the average tuition and fees at public institutions tripled and more than doubled at private four-year institutions.
As newly elected members of Congress, we would target this issue head-on, as it has caused many issues in people's lives simply because they want a higher education and to be successful in life. In the past, the government threw out a plan to give every student $10,000 towards their college debt. This is unacceptable, as for most students, this is just a fraction of the college debt they endure going through their careers, and is a slap in the face that this is the best the government can do for them.
Well, I think throwing out what really seems like a random number of money at people, I think it really takes a more intentional and closer look at people's individual debt, because everybody's debt is different, and the reason why they have debt is different, because like I said before, everybody's coming from a different background.
In order to create a reasonable and widespread solution, it was imperative to us that we got the opinions and constructive criticism from those who will be directly affected.
Yeah, I think it's very hard because college is a place where everyone pays the same price for different things. You know, the degree you come out with is a different product than a degree next to the person next to you, right? What they get out of college might be different than what you want. I would like it to be more proportional across the degrees.
Other ways to reduce the costs at the college level, you'll probably end up seeing some reduction in services, the reduction in programs, less courses offered, things like that is where you're most likely going to see it. And again, the one they're going to suffer are the students. They're not going to have as much opportunity to take some of the courses they want to take with that.
You know, I think they should just be lowered all in all. I mean, I think that if you look at the trends, college prices are 60% higher than they have been, and it's just getting out of control. And it's really pricing a lot of people out of the process now.
Yeah, and I think there are minds that can create good programs. We already have, and you might know about, that students who graduate with medical degrees, if they go and work in underserved communities, they can get help with paying off their student loans. And the same goes for teachers who work in underserved communities. So if we could even create more programs like that or similar to that, that give people incentive to go out and help others and serve, and it's also in turn helping them out.
With all these ideas from everyday people in the education world, we devised the real plan on how to truly help students out in regards to the method in which they pay for college and the amount of which they are paying. First, we cut back on more of the luxuries that colleges provide. Many have stated that visiting most universities is comparable to strolling through a resort. In all honesty, it consumes an unnecessarily decent chunk of the funding provided to these schools and raises the price of annual tuition. If we stop treating schools like resorts and divert a portion of this funding towards more merit scholarships for students, the cost will ultimately be reduced. While it is pleasant to have extravagant grounds, statues, and stadiums, they are nothing more than luxuries.
I think about the question of, do colleges need to have all of these so-called amenities? Because this is part of what is driving up the price tag of colleges, both state colleges and private colleges. So I think we all need to ask ourselves the question, why are these amenities needed? Why can't we have something more basic?
Next, we can create more programs on the governmental level to help underserved communities. We should broaden the opportunities opened by other degrees to help people who need it in return to pay off their student debt. Community college is always an option to have less debt for higher education. But the education at some community colleges isn't always good. Scholarships are always options too, but not everyone qualifies, and sometimes it doesn't even help with the tuition. So as members of Congress, we will propose the Fair and Reduced Higher Education Bill. This will implement price caps on universities and what they spend on their grounds. This will also implement more programs into the communities of underserved areas in our countries and other countries to help students relieve their debt. These programs would be government funded and will pay people back on the amount of students they pledge.
Universities should be cutting costs and focusing on educating their students. This frivolous spending has ruined many young people's futures, and that is how we address the calamity of student debt.